Alrighty guys, part 1 of fixing the 44 is hoping that I have a good gear in here. I was thinking about either fixing or selling this blower, but it's got some bearings that are messed up in it or something. I think you guys can hear the rear bearing complaining back there. It does spin, so I'm hoping the gear in this is okay. And the gearbox and or just the gear, I'm thinking I'm going to switch the whole box because I ran that gearbox dry for the 16Gs right outside the door there. That the bearings are probably messed up and it's probably got filings all through it. But for right now, I want to get this gearbox out of the snowblower, and I want to inspect this gear. So first things first, before I do anything, I'm going to pull the plug out of the gearbox, take the flashlight and shine in there and make sure it looks good. And I just remembered the wrench is over in the other tank garage because I checked the oil in the 38-inch I was using last night. So I'm going to go grab that, and I'll get this back in, get back over here and take that out. I'll give this thing a chance to warm up a little bit, and hopefully my hands won't freeze to it while I'm working. So that was the idea. So here we go. I don't think I'm going to do a step-by-step with this. I'm just going to try and put it together. If I get to a point where I feel like doing a step-by-step, I will. And yeah, I may show more when I take the 44 apart, because right now I just want to see what's going on in here and hope this one's okay. So I'll bring you guys along. Alright, hopefully you guys can see, but that gear in there looks pretty nice. Now the oil does not look so nice in there, but the gear looks good, so that's what we're looking for. And then I can take the box the whole way apart and then just switch the smaller reel shaft out for the bigger one. And that's hoping everything comes apart good here. So pretty much I got the green light to continue forward now. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on these two bolts up here, the two center bolts. Then I'll flip it over on the other side and I'll work on the other two bearing bolts. And then we'll hope that this falls right apart. I fought with the 44 whenever I redid it to put the bearings in it to get the two apart. So here we go and see what happens here. Alrighty guys, so I got her all apart. Actually, it didn't come apart too bad. The only thing that fought me was the U-joint. Well, this U-joint is still attached to the snowblower. I think you can kind of see it right there. That fought me a little bit. I had to heat it up and soak it with PB Blaster, and then just with some hand tension on, pulling it out. Use the other hand and just lightly tap on it with a hammer. You don't have to wail on stuff, guys. You just have to tap on it. That vibration will break the rust a lot of times, especially while it's heating, cooling, and the blaster is working its way in. So that come apart pretty easy. And the only thing that really fought me was the one bearing. I want to say it was on this side to get it off the end of the shaft. But the way these MA series gearboxes work, at least on the walk behind one right here, I'm going to, we'll see how the 44 is in the next segment. But anyhow, they use a hex shaft. And with the hex shaft, that allows you basically, once you get it apart, you can just slide everything out one side. And if you got one side that's like really rusted real bad or something, but the bearing is still good, then you can do that. But for educational purposes, I have everything apart here, and I'm going to show you guys how it works. So pretty much right here, and I didn't show you guys how this came apart, but this, I'm pretty sure the friction disc looks like it's wore away from here. It may be stuck to the end of that auger, but this one here is a better example. The friction material is actually here. This is what they consider the real clutches on these. And you tighten that big nut right there on the end, and basically what it does is it pushes in on this a little bit tighter when you tighten it up. And so basically if you hit something solid, this continues to spin, but the auger, which is over here, or I keep interchanging auger and reels, but anyhow, the reels stay stationary. So that is just something for you guys, and that way you guys know, because they actually rub. Oh, let's see here. Because they would be, nope, I think that's the, I want to say that's the end. I would say, yeah, that's the center, and that's where the friction material is off of this one. They actually rub in here like so, and then this notch goes down on the gearbox right there. And so that's what actually makes these augers turn. It transfers through this friction disc, then into the shaft. So, you see this is keyed to the box. The box is powered by that U-joint through the fan shaft. So basically, if it's too loose, all this does is sit and spin inside of here. And whenever you clamp this down enough, then it spins the whole reel assembly, thus turning this inside shaft and turning both sides uniformly. And there's a clutch disc on either side, and there's a nut for either side. You can slide the reels side to side a little bit to center it too with that. So, okay, now the snowblower school for tonight. I actually had this part in about an hour, so hopefully tomorrow after work and during the daylight and everything, it's sitting out the door facing out. I can get the reel assembly out of there, switch the gearbox over, fill it up with oil. I'm not gonna lie, that snow's kind of scared me when it melted off of there. And put everything back together, and then I can move back into, well, I don't even want to call them fun projects, but I consider that fun. That is work. Well, work. Right there is work. Parts are in the mail for the SR. So, yeah. Breakdowns from Winter Storm Gale. There's something echoing in here, and it's driving me nuts. I don't know if the camera picks up on it. I swear it's the hood on that tractor. But yeah, the carnage from Winter Storm Gale, at least for me. When I take the 44 apart, I will show you exactly what happened and why. So, stay tuned, and that'll be tomorrow, Saturday, hopefully. Everything goes according to plan, but you guys know that very seldom happens. So, okay, going inside to watch Gold Rush at 7:55. So, start the 8 o'clock. So, I will catch you guys tomorrow, or in 3, 2. Alrighty, guys, I ended up skipping quite a few steps here. I was originally going to show you guys taking this apart, but I decided just to do it. So basically, I got the gearbox off. The reels came apart. This side I have off came off real easy. The other side was fighting me the whole way. A bearing wouldn't come off. Nut come loose fairly easy was about the only thing. But the reel seems to be stuck where it's at, and I might try and get that moving while it's apart, because that should... Oh no, that should be keyed to that shaft, so it don't matter. But anyhow, here is the destruction I got from running a gearbox dry. Actually, when I did, there's a keyway in here. Why is there a keyway in here? Oh, it's probably, okay. The gear slid on the center here. Okay. I was trying to figure out where that came from. I'm like, okay. Okay. I know what's going on now. So, anyhow. So, that's what happens when you run one of these gearboxes dry, guys. You can see it literally wore these thin, and apparently it must have got a little bit of a load whenever I hit over here and just flat out just wore them off. So, a rather expensive mistake, and I'm going to look for another one of these gears, because the snowblower I took apart really doesn't seem terrible. Like, the blower housing could use a little bit of work and everything, but otherwise, not too bad. So, alrighty guys, I am I'm going to swap that other gearbox on, and I'm going to look at the gear oil I have and make sure it'll work. Make sure it's not GL5. And I'm going to go from there, but just a mastery. I mean, you could see like evidence of oil on there, guys. I was telling RW3 Dog last night, and I think what my downfall is this, is I store these snowblowers standing on their nose, and I think all the oil runs out through the bearing plates in the front. Because my 38-inch snowblower, while it was not out of oil, it was kind of low on oil when I filled it up the other day and went to use it on 83. So I'm thinking that is part of my problem, and I need to just check them when I put them on in the fall and be paying more attention. Flat out. If I had to check this when I put it on in the fall, put oil in it, it would probably be perfectly fine right now. But I didn't. That $1 worth of oil I didn't put in there has cost me quite a bit of time and hassle. So, without further ado, I'm going to get this put back together. I'm going to fill that gearbox up with oil and put it on back on the or back in the blower, and I'll show you guys it working and go from there. Oh yeah, I can push that out real easy. Okay, hold on, brace. No, maybe not. It's about out of there. Okay, hold on. Stick with me, guys. Hold on. But when you do that, this is a hardened steel gear, from what I know, and it won't eat this the actual worm gear. It eats this. So, oh well. What you gonna do, right? What you gonna do? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for one of these gears. I'm gonna get some measurements, and I couldn't remember what they looked like. I've only ever had one or two of these apart, and both times have been at the blow-in with the guidance of snowblower master Dick Rubensky. So put her back together and see what happens. Alrighty, guys, got the real shaft reassembled. The only 2 or 3 pointers I'm going to mention is look at the clutch material, make sure it's alright. And when you tighten these end nuts down, you're actually supposed to tighten them down to a certain foot-pound, because how tight them are adjusts how tight the clutch material is in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave mine kind of loose. I know they'll slip now because I've had it apart. And above all, I guess right now I'm just going to put it back in the snowblower. I'm going to have to put the bearings back on the end. This side over here literally slid right off with my fingers. Apparently somebody had been into this before, and this whole side over here come off real easy. Well, that side there was being a pain, for lack of better words. So, yeah. Put the bearings back on, put her back in the snowblower, fill it up with gear oil, and then see what happens. I actually might fill it up with gear oil in here where it's warm. Warmer. I mean, it's not like super warm in here, but, you know, 60 degrees is a whole lot better than 30. It's snowy outside. Camera adjusting. Yes, you guys can see the white out there, but anyhow. So, I'll get that done, and I'll be back with you guys for the test try. Alrighty, guys, I got her all put back together here. Hopefully the dripping roof behind you isn't bothering you guys too bad. But as you can see, I got the slip clutches set way too loose. You guys will see it tries to turn the blower a little bit, but you can just hear the clutches slipping. Trying to saw through the little bit of frozen stuff that's in here. I might have to go get a crescent. I think I can get on this far side, maybe. thinking I'm gonna have to go get a big crescent wrench. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can get something to tighten them up. Alrighty, guys. Apparently, I don't have a crescent wrench big enough back here, or an open-ended wrench. I can get on the far side with this little baby crescent wrench and do it. It's not the side I want to tighten. So, getting tighter, it almost turns it there. So for a while I'm using this thing, I'll probably carry something like this with me in case it starts slipping prematurely. So right there, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but it's turning it and slipping just a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go about that much more. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to try it. First things first, I want to start the tractor and see if it actually spins and doesn't grenade. And if you're not nervous at this point in the project, you probably didn't take it apart far enough. And I don't have a whole lot of battery life left, so we'll make this short. We're riding the 16G specs. So it's spinning and I got no weird noises. And it's flexing about like normal, so I guess I'm going to go set the camera up somewhere and I'm going to try and blow a little bit of snow with it and see what happens. I guess I gotta go find a good spot.